It's Tuesday, May 13. In the headlines, Jamaicans urged to increase voluntary blood donations. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness renews call to make Sex Offenders Registry public. In business news, Foswich to build luxury community in Trelawney. Regionally, in St. Lucia, the Prime Minister clears the air on U.S. visa policy. And in sports, CONCACAF president endorses the TTFA's vision for football revival. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton is urging Jamaicans to increase voluntary blood donations as the country continues to face a shortage of this life-saving resource. The National Blood Transfusion Service, a division of the Health Ministry, currently collects 30,000 units of blood annually. The ministry explains in a press release, however, that 73.6% of these donations come from replacement donors who give blood to assist friends or family members in immediate need. Dr. Tufton emphasized that Jamaica ideally needs to collect around 60,000 units of blood each year to meet the demands of the public health system. He says, quote, "If just 2% of the population donates blood each year, we can reach this target. Ultimately, we need consistent donors and must encourage healthy individuals, particularly young adults, to start donating for the first time. Blood is essential for medical treatments, surgeries, and emergencies, helping patients involved in accidents, undergoing a surgery, or dealing with conditions such as cancer, blood disorders, or chronic illnesses. Donating blood can save lives and significantly improve health outcomes." In an effort to advance technology integration in education, the Education Ministry has distributed 10,000 computers to high schools across the country. Portfolio Minister Senator Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon made the announcement during a statement to the Senate on Friday. Furthermore, all teachers are now assigned a laptop to enhance ICT integration in their classrooms.
Our teachers are really committed to our children, and it's so beautiful to see a teacher like Mrs. Francis, grade 4 Francis, using the technology for her students and incorporating the videos. She said, sometimes they don't want to hear my voice for the whole lesson, so I just show them some videos in the middle of it, and she hyperlinks her videos. That's how the technology is helping in our classrooms.
In partnership with the Digital Foundation, 21 fully equipped STEM smart labs have been established at the primary school level. Looking ahead, the minister announced a budget allocation of $108 million for the upcoming fiscal year to provide audiovisual equipment for secondary schools.
To date, approximately $4.5 billion has been spent for school infrastructure improvements, and another $5.8 billion has been allocated to effect infrastructure upgrades and repair works in the 25-26 fiscal year, to include the TVET upgrades and new equipment for all the science labs across our secondary schools.
For the 2025-2026 fiscal year, the government plans to invest approximately $800 million to further enhance technical and vocational education and training programs, with a focus on lab upgrades and the creation of future skills and technology labs at technical high schools. The brutal murder of a 9-year-old girl in Spanish Town has reignited national debate, this time about whether Jamaica's Sex Offenders Registry should be made public. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says the horrific incident has once again brought that question to the forefront.
We have recently reformed the Bail Act, and we do have in place a sex offenders registry. But I think this incident requires that we take a second look on how we make this sex offenders registry available to the public so that the public can be armed with information to protect themselves. Yes, there are constitutional issues that we have to balance, but where we are in the society, I have said it before and I will say it again, that our laws need to favor the protection of life and the protection of the victim rather than trying to protect the criminals. It is time that the society draws a clear line that we must eliminate the criminals from our society. They mean you no good.
He says the country's laws should be crafted towards protecting innocent lives and eliminating criminals. He says the weaknesses have to be addressed.
The person who is alleged to have committed the crime, we don't know, we are speaking purely now on allegation, is someone who is a repeat offender, someone who is out on bail. And as the mother of the child who perished pointed out, that she had no idea that this man, who was essentially her neighbor, was a repeat offender and was actually out on bail. So that speaks to certain weaknesses, certain issues that we have to take a second look at in our criminal justice system.
Dr. Holness visited the grieving family and community on Monday, where he acknowledged the residents' restraint, saying their decision not to take matters into their own hands shows growing trust in the security forces.
ACP Phillips privately commended you that no one has sought to take matters into your own hands. And I pointed out to him that this is the new Jamaica that you see emerging even out of conflict and these kinds of gruesome situations, where the citizens have confidence that the police will be able to find the perpetrator. The citizens have confidence that the police will bring the perpetrator to justice. And therefore, the people will play their role in cooperating, in providing information, in highlighting the problem, in speaking out against the problem, and in ensuring that this does not happen again.
The Lupus Foundation of Jamaica, LFJ, is emphasizing the vital need for increased lupus awareness as part of its continuous mission to support those impacted by the chronic autoimmune disease. Lupus is an autoimmune disease that is not contagious, but it affects an estimated 5 million people worldwide, including thousands in Jamaica. This lack of awareness can result in delayed diagnosis and insufficient treatment. To raise awareness and show support for those living with lupus, the Lupus Foundation of Jamaica organizes parish-based awareness walks every year. Executive Director of the foundation, Tishona Mullings, was on location last Saturday in New Kingston, organizing participants and giving instructions about educating the public while on the walk.
We want people to see, hear, and know about lupus. There are over 6,000 Jamaicans that has lupus. Women between 15 and 44 often get lupus. So we want people to know about lupus. That's what the walk is all about.
These events encourage community participation and aim to bring greater visibility to the condition, standing in solidarity with those battling lupus.
People are seeing us, we're getting a lot of interactions. We know people have questions, but before they can have questions, they need to know that there's something called lupus. So this is just a sort of strategy to boost some form of engagement.
What's the most common question you get asked about lupus?
Most common question, what is lupus?
They don't know generally?
They don't have an idea. And when they think of lupus, the first thing that comes to their mind is something cancerous, and it's not.
Giving out all the flyers, and most of us are now empty-handed, shows that we are reaching to people and we are hoping that they will read the material, because lupus, as you know, it's not a disease that is widely known among our country, and so we're hoping that we can make lupus visible.
The lupus warriors say one of the biggest hurdles is that it is often misunderstood.
I think lupus is a sickness. It is a dangerous sickness. It from about all over your body. Even especially eyes, it work all over your body. So it is a dangerous sickness.
What do you think about them going out and giving information about it today?
To find out how dangerous it is to your body, or if you have it, yes or no.
Okay. So you think it's a good thing then that they're out and giving information?
Yes.
Why?
Because we want to know, others, people and kids want to know what is the meaning by lupus.
The walk culminated at the Foundation's office at Shop 29 Winchester Business Center in Halfway Tree. President of the LFJ and rheumatologist Dr. Desiree Tulloch-Reed emphasized that awareness of lupus is crucial in improving patient outcomes.
So today is part of our Member Care Day. It's a day where we're just inviting our lupus warriors and their family, their friends, their supporters to just join us for fellowship and for a wellness time. So we're here doing health checks. We have representatives from NHF here with us, and they'll be doing a number of screening tests, checking for blood pressure, checking for weight, height, BMI, checking your cholesterol, sugars, and then we'll have a number of professionals, health professionals, who are joining us. We're here to just help our members to do as well as possible.
Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, here to bring you the stories shaping the financial world and guiding your journey to smarter business decisions. Let's dive into the top headlines. Several notable companies on the Jamaica Stock Exchange have released their most recent financial results. Seprod Limited audited financials for the 12 months ended December 31, 2024, reports a year-end net profit of 3.33 billion Jamaican dollars. Omni Industries Limited unaudited financials for the first quarter ended March 31, 2025, reports 60% decrease in 3 months net profit. Trans-Jamaica Highway Limited unaudited financials for the first quarter ended March 31, 2025, reports a 31% increase in 3 months net profit. Fosterage Group Chief Executive Officer Cecil Foster announced plans for the Hamptons Trelawney during a Jamaica Investment and Housing Forum at the Resort World Hotel in Queens, New York. The real estate development overlooking the Falmouth cruise ship pier, the Hamptons, will offer homeowners extensive jogging trails stretching up to 550 meters, strategically placed gazebos for outdoor recreation, and an environmentally conscious bird sanctuary within the gated community. And I quote, "It's going to be very, very unique," Foster said, noting that the project will deliver over 600 housing units ranging from modern apartment complexes to elegant stand-alone homes with 2, 3, and 4 bedroom options. Foster also unveiled plans for a 300,000 square foot commercial complex which will serve the residents of the Hamptons and surrounding communities. For the trading period ending May 12, 2025, these were the most actively traded stocks. Alternative energy provider Wigton Energy Limited, with 6,288,050 units traded, representing 40.93% of market sales volume. Toll road operator Trans-Jamaica Highway Limited, with 2,355,414 units traded, representing 15.33% of market sales volume. Billboard advertising and real estate developer Kentire Holdings Jamaica Limited, with 1,159,022 units traded, representing 7.54% of market sales volume. We now shift our focus to the forex market rates set by the Bank of Jamaica. On May 12, 2025, the Bank of Jamaica reported US $60.81 million purchased and US $59.05 million sold by forex traders. Forex traders earned $1.26 per dollar, selling the US at $159.99 and buying the US at $158.73. The Canadian dollar netted forex traders $1.06 per transaction, with selling at $114.52 and buying at $113.46. The British pound yielded forex traders $3.60 in profits, with selling at $212 and buying at $208.40. For our credit report tip of the day, your credit score is not just a number. It's a reflection of your financial rhythm. And when you are presenting your business idea to someone who can help you fund it, that rhythm needs to be consistent, confident, and credit worthy. So keep building intentionally. Here are some suggestions from financial experts. You can think about using your credit score to unlock better interest rates. Good credit means less risk for lenders, and that translates into lower borrowing costs for you. Another idea is to use your credit score to strengthen investor confidence. Investors want to back capable founders. Your credit history can quietly affirm you're one of them. And that wraps up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, reminding you that every financial decision is a step toward your future. Until next time, stay focused, stay informed, and keep striving for success. See you soon.
In regional news, Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre is urging an end to divisive political rhetoric, warning it could damage St. Lucia's international reputation. He was responding to opposition claims that the government's citizenship by investment program may be linked to recent U.S. visa denials. He dismissed the claims as unfounded, saying no concerns were raised by U.S. officials, and stressed the importance of protecting the country's credibility.
Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre is urging an end to polarizing rhetoric and the politicization of sensitive issues, warning that such actions could jeopardize St. Lucia's standing in international affairs.
Sometimes it amazes me why, for political reasons, we always have to wish bad on our country. It's very, because I'll tell you something. When anybody goes for a visa, they don't go and say, I'm yellow, I'm red, They go for a visa.
Prime Minister Pierre's remarks follow sharp comments from the United Workers' Party, UWP, which alleged that the government's citizenship by investment, CBI policies, may be contributing to visa application rejections.
A mother went to get her child's visa renewed. Not only did they deny the child, they took the mother's visa and cancelled it. But everybody, nobody don't want anybody to know what's happening to them, so everybody keeping it secret. I want to tell us, it is the behavior and the actions of the St. Lucia Labour Party that have St. Lucia in the crisis that it is today with visas. It is the CIP that we warned you about. It was the CIP that Martinez spoke about. It was the CIP that Alan Chasney spoke about, Dominic Fede, myself, Spider, and the members of the United Workers' Party. We told you, if the Labour Party continues down that road, all of us will be in trouble.
The Prime Minister cautioned that such claims, if unfounded, could damage the country's international credibility.
To imply that there is a relationship between, it's actually based on raw politics, and that's not necessary. We can discuss the issues, but to link somebody wanting to go and and shop in the U.S., when they go on holiday in the U.S., to link that with the CIP program. It's something that we should not do as a country. We should not do. You know, I've said to you all the time, members of the press, and sometimes I don't think you quote me enough. I've said that this job is a temporary job. And anybody who becomes Prime Minister of the country is going to be temporary. So we must not, in the quest to become Prime Minister or to run the country, that we burn it down. So because what we say here has a serious impact on the people who listen.
The Prime Minister noted that recent discussions with U.S. official Marco Rubio did not raise any concerns about St. Lucia's Citizenship by Investment Program, CIP.
The U.S. gave us 6 points that we should follow. We've done all of them, and then the U.S. actually have not raised any questions about the program. Anything they ask, we give them. In fact, the firms that due diligence for us, actually, some of them are U.S. firms. And that came up. But the U.S. expressed nothing negative at the meeting to the CIP program. What they continue to want is proper due diligence.
Moreover, Pierre pointed to U.S. President Donald Trump's own rollout of a U.S. Citizenship by Investment $5 million initiative as evidence of the legitimacy and value such programs can have on crafting economic stability. Solange Alfred, HTS News Force.
Journalists from Latin America and the Caribbean attended the press conference for the 4th ministerial meeting of the China Community of Latin American and Caribbean States in Beijing, China on Sunday. TTT's Daniel John was at the conference and brings us the details.
The future of cooperation between China and the Caribbean looks bright. So says Assistant Minister of Foreign Affairs during the 4th Ministerial CELAC Forum on Sunday. At a press conference for the 4th ministerial meeting of the China Community of Latin American and Caribbean States, CELAC, Assistant Minister of Foreign Affairs Miao De-yu said cooperation with Caribbean countries is an important part of China-LAC relations.
You may have remembered that in 2013, President Xi Jinping visited the LAC region for the first time, and during that time he visited Trinidad and Tobago and met with leaders of 9 Caribbean countries with which China has diplomatic relations in Port of Spain, and announced a series of important measures supporting the socio-economic development of Caribbean countries and strengthening cooperation between the two sides. These injected strong impetus for developing China-Caribbean relations.
He said China always pursues the greater good and shared benefits when developing relations with Caribbean countries.
China has already leaped to the second largest trading partner with the region, and major projects agreed by the two sides, including ports, airports, hospitals, and agriculture technologies projects, have been implemented, greatly promoting the socio-economic development of the Caribbean side.
China's cooperation with Trinidad and Tobago has resulted in building the country's Phoenix Park industrial estate into a high value-added eco-friendly light industrial park, which is considered to be the most advanced industrial park in the Caribbean region. The country's partnership with China also resulted in the practical completion of the central block of the Port of Spain General Hospital and the expansion of the ANR International Airport in Tobago, which is expected to increase air travel demand, create new job opportunities, and stimulate economic growth. Mr. Miao reassured that in the future, China and the Caribbean will deepen cooperation in blue economy, disaster prevention and control, personnel training, and poverty alleviation. Daniel John, TTT News.
In a decade, bilateral trade between Guyana and the European Union soared. The group has emerged as the top buyer of crude produced in the Starbrook block offshore. The strong trade relationship was highlighted by both Guyana's President, Dr. Ifraan Ali, and EU Ambassador to Guyana, Ren Van Ness, at the Europe Day celebrations on Friday evening in Georgetown.
Each year, Mention must be made to the fact that the EU has been and continues to be one of Guyana's largest trading partners, which is facilitated through the CARI Forum. The EU Economic Partnership Agreement. In 2024, the EU imports from Guyana were valued at US $9.7 billion. More importantly, since the discovery of oil, there is an increasing demand for Guyana's crude, with that being the top export to the EU. In the year 2024, 66% of Guyana's crude were exported to Europe.
Exports from Guyana to the EU increased from about 15 billion Guyanese dollars in 2014 to 2.4 trillion Guyanese dollars in 2024. And you guess what has caused this? Indeed, the EU bought more than 65% of Guyana's crude oil. We are by far the largest buyers in the world.
In sports, we kick off with football news. CONCACAF President Victor Montigliani has praised the leadership and vision of the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association, expressing confidence in the association's path towards football revitalization and global competitiveness. Here's Nasir Mohammed with more.
Speaking at a press conference alongside TTFA President Kieran Edwards, Montagliani described his visit as very pleasing and highlighted the visible progress made under the current administration.
I think you've built a very strong team. It's very obvious the vision that you have and your team has for the TTFA moving forward. Not only am I very pleased, but very proud. I remember when you got elected, we met, broke bread, and you gave me your vision, and I'm very pleased to know that not only have you followed through with exactly what you said in our first meeting, but it's coming to fruition, and you can see what else is coming.
Montagliani's visit included meetings with government officials and a tour of local facilities, where he was encouraged by plans for infrastructure improvements, grassroots programs, and support for national teams across all levels, including the under-15 and women's squads.
Well, the great thing about football, it never ends, right? We were just talking about that, actually. You have the facilities and the vision of the facilities, which I was really pleased to see. What's coming next in terms of pitches, the rebirth of the facility behind us. I think I got it right. But also, World Cup qualifying, U15, women's team. So it never ends, and it's ebbs and flows, right? And I think that's important.
President Edwards welcomed the visit and highlighted the role of CONCACAF's ongoing support.
Going forward, we want to continue and build that relationship and strengthen that relationship, and this visit marks that intention. And moving forward, we really hope to strengthen that bond between CONCACAF and the TTFA in terms of getting us back to being a powerhouse in the Caribbean once again.
As the TTFA prepares for critical FIFA World Cup qualifiers, Montagliani wished the teams well and expressed hope of returning to the country, ideally during the carnival season, to experience more of its vibrant culture and, as he put it, get a little more Trini food in me.
And that's the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Thanks for watching.